Hey there everyone, Pez of Doom here, and today we have a developer interview with Wazhack. That's how we say it, Wazhack. I've been saying it wrong in all my other videos. My apologies to Sir Waz. If you want to just jump to the developer interview, hit that annotation and it'll jump you right to that part of the video. Otherwise, here's the information you need for the giveaway contest we're doing. All you gotta do is drop a comment below saying you were interested in the game, what parts of it you really like, and we'll go ahead and enter you in for the drawing. This contest is going to run from today, May 8th, until next Friday, which is May 15th. At that time, I'll post a video response with the winner of the contest, and maybe read off their comments or something. Alright, and as you know, one of our favorite things to do at Rogue Ocean Gaming is change up so we never get stuck in a rut. We're going to do this developer interview a little different than the other ones. We're not going to show any video footage of it. If you want video footage, as I noted before, there are other videos we've posted of what we've done with the game. Instead, what I want you to do is turn this on, listen to our interview with the developer, and just jump over to his website where you can play the demo and really get a play for the game right through your web browser. And just, listen to him talk, listen to us talk to him while you're actually playing the game to see if it's something you'd really be interested in. I think it's a fantastic game. I can't say enough good things about it. It's really detailed. And, watch our other videos if you want to hear more about that. Let's get on to just talking to Waz now. This is his day on Rogue Ocean Gaming. I apologize if I say this name wrong, but Lanthus has asked if energy vortexes can carry items and if they can smell curses.
They can't smell curses. Only cats and dogs can do that. I mean, people notice that when they try to play with the monkey and they get themselves in trouble.
Monkey, why didn't you tell me?
Exactly. Carry items. Good question. Good question. I'd have to check that. I could just fire up my dev version and just see. Get myself a pet. What was it? An energy vortex you wanted? Okay. Fire it up. Give myself a, what is it? Energy vortex. Chat to my energy vortex and give him some stuff. Yep, he can. I'm not sure where he hides it, but he can have one.
Excellent.
Each creature does have a carrying capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So he might not have a very high carrying capacity. I'm not sure.
In going to your website and checking it out, was that you have a lot of history in just developing games and touching on some of the most prolific roguelikes of gaming.
Yeah, I'm old.
But you did NetHack as far as the wizard mod and the default tile set for it, right?
Yeah, I mean it was the tiles that I did first. I had myself a computer, was playing NetHack, and I didn't have the colors because people these days they play with the colored text as well. You didn't have colored text back then, so my terminal didn't have it, so it was really hard. I mean, those games. Rogue was fine because it was one letter is one monster. There's only 26 monsters in the game. But NetHack has like 200 or something, and you're expected to just know that, well, could be any number of different things just based on one letter. I mean, they had upper and lower case, I think, so they had like 52 or something. But with still 300 monsters, so you had to say, okay, what is that? You have to press question or slash or something, and then highlight it and go, what is that? To play the game, and that was pretty horrible. So that was my motivation to do the tiles.
Was that some of the inspiration that led you to Wazhack?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I did that a long time ago, and I've been working in the real world for a big long time in between. I did that when I was at university. So, once I wanted to do some of my own thing, that NetHack was the obvious thing to do, but I don't know, it was just, I couldn't change NetHack to be what I wanted to make. So, I mean, you can't just change that 2D top-down game into a 3D game. I mean, there's lots of different, mods for that, like the with the 3D and all that, but it's very hard to play those games with that sort of 3D. You're better off just playing the original. It's easier. It's easier to play with the tiles than any of the 3D versions, I think, because you can understand what's going on. But I wanted to do some 3D stuff. And that's where I got the idea of the sort of the platformer style, the side view. I mean, it's the same sort of idea. You've got rooms and they're connected together and stuff, but by doing the side view, you get a nicer view onto your characters. You're not looking at the tops of their heads or something. So.
Did you do all the modeling for it too?
Yeah, I did everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm not an expert in any of that stuff. I'm a programmer fundamentally, but I can get by. I mean, that's the beauty of 3D modeling. If you sort of, you're building it rather than just doing it as an artistic, straight pixel painting thing. I mean, all those pixel painting for those icons in NetHack. I mean, that was a huge amount of work. And they're only little 16 by 16 things. So I actually find 3D modeling easier.
Yeah, well, it's really neat the way it almost looks like claymation, kind of in.
Yeah, that's sort of the feel I wanted. Sort of pseudo-realistic. Realistic in the sense that it's not artistically, like Borderlands or something like that. It's realistic in that, yep, I use metal-looking things for metal-looking things.
And the interactions between the items and the characters and everything, very realistic. I mean, look at nymphs. They appear, they smile at you, and then they steal your shit and they run.
Yeah. The physics stuff is fun too.
The physics stuff, like
Yeah, I mean, getting that for free from the game engine, just makes it look good. When the characters die and they fall down the ladders and stuff. I mean, that's fun. I still laugh at that.
I learned very, very quickly about the importance of strength when throwing items, because normally I play with the barbarian, and I could chuck a short sword, no problem. Well, I tried playing a wizard and I tried throwing a short sword, and it was pathetic. I think I hit my foot.
Yeah, in the new version, throwing is one of the things I've tried to sort of really work on. I mean, I don't know whether you've seen this. I've posted an image online showing it's now you throw things in an arc, so ballistically. So it's more clear what's going to work and what isn't going to work when you try to throw something.
Is there more things that you can throw? Like, can you throw wands now or trunks or anything, or not really? It's still the same items.
No, but there's shurikens.
I have never gotten a shuriken yet.
No, I've added them. I think I changed the thief to get a couple of shurikens. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the thief modeling looks amazing. I love the way they look.
They're all the same, actually. All the characters are the same. All that changes is their hair and their skin color.
So they're all oh yeah, they are. I'm looking at it now. Okay, I didn't even notice. Wow.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to notice.
No.
I shouldn't have told you.
But you've been doing Wazhack for a while now, then.
Yeah, I mean, I lose track of time myself. I think it's 3 years or something like that.
Have you done any other games? I mean, I know you did Troglodyte, I think it was called, in '88.
No, I mean, this is the first thing. Well, it's the second thing. This is I'd sort of left formal working and all that sort of stuff a few years ago and decided to be an indie game dev. And Wazhack's really the first thing I made. I mean, I did make a game before that called Towers versus Aliens, but it was a learning exercise. I think that's the best thing for an indie dev. The best thing to start with is something really simple. And there's nothing more simple than a tower defense game.
True. So is it a game people can go out and grab right now? Or?
No, I think it's not even up anymore. I think the domain name expired or something like that. I have it somewhere. It was sort of fun, but it was tower defense,
Right. Whereas this has a lot more to it, and you can really see the humor shining. The humor reminded me a lot of Terry Pratchett, Douglas Adams, kind of, a little bit with some of the ways things worked, or little comments that you have when you accidentally probe something because you didn't know it was a wand of probing and you really had hoped for a fireball or something, and instead you find out, oh, it really will kick my butt. Great.
Yeah, I mean, some of that is pretty well exactly the same quotes from NetHack. Where there's a quote that happens when you play NetHack that I find amusing. Mm-hmm. It does that in the game, even if doesn't really fit. I do it anyway. Like when I was looking at one this morning. What was it? When you eat rotten food, right? So, which you don't often do, but what it says when you do that is exactly the same text that will appear if you play NetHack and you eat rotten food. But the reason all those things are in there is because people who play NetHack get a kick out of that sort of stuff.
Right, little Easter eggs for them.
Yeah, that's what they're in there for. But yeah, I mean, the rest of it, I'll often be programming away and think, oh yeah, got to take into account this possibility. And the more obscure ones is a good time to put in a little smart comment or something, because you'd get sick of that sort of thing otherwise. But if you do something obscure, you're more likely to get something an obscure reference if you're doing something obscure.
Yes, I was really worried though, because I came across a wall quote that said you had to stuff cheese into trolls if you wanted them to not regenerate. I'm like, oh God, what if I need to keep this cheese wedge just in case?
Yeah. Some of the stuff written on the walls I've had a lot of fun with.
Is there some significance to the ones that are written in red versus like dark writing?
I can't remember now.
Oh no. Oh.
Sometimes I just do stuff and forget about it.
Just to make us paranoid.
That's right. I mean, even in the file that has all that graffiti in it, I have a little flag in there telling me whether it's true or false, because I can't remember sometimes.
You do? How long did it take you? Like, there's, like you said, there is a lot to this game, and you've probably forgotten more than most people will ever know about it. I'm like, I can't even conceive how you can keep track of it, or how the lines are drawn between this to that to this, and all of this together will allow you to do something different. It took me, I think, 42 playthroughs before I finally realized that I should start picking up bags, because one of them turned my stuff to gold when I was looking at it. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah. Bags are magical too. Oh.
I mean, I have some rules about when I'm doing things. Like, I don't like anything to be obvious, but I don't like anything to be, well, you're never going to work that out. You've got to go online and find it out. So the game's intended to be that you can play that whole game by yourself, not having any internet, so you can't ask questions, and you can work everything out. Because that's the other thing I sort of didn't like about NetHack. I mean, a lot of those games have become so sophisticated and so much complexity in them that without spoilers, you can't play them. I know. And when I played them, we didn't have spoilers, so I want to bring back that experience for people, where you don't have to get all the cheats and everything, and you don't have to read the manual.
Are you getting a lot of feedback from fans on it and everything? I mean, it's been out for a year now, so good. And you're still updating it. You mentioned that you're coming out with a new alpha version here.
Yep, I was hoping to get it. Through the beta and everything by April, but next week I'll be putting it out probably as an alpha, maybe a beta, depending on how I decide on the remaining things I want to implement, whether I'll cut some of them or how I'll do it. But yeah, there'll be something out next week.
I bought the game through Steam. Will I be able to go into the subscribe to beta and be able to get into it?
Yeah, that's exactly how it'll work. I'll put the info up on the Steam forums and various other places. But yeah, basically that's how you'll do it. The same way you do with the other things. You go into the properties and the betas and so on, and it'll be in there, an alpha or a beta, whatever it is.
And this is really cool because you don't see a lot of games getting updates that aren't DLC after they've gone out.
Yeah, I don't like DLC.
You and me both, man. Especially day one DLC. I mean, really.
I understand why they do it. But...
Oh, yeah. I mean, just to get through the process and everything.
Yeah.
Are you looking at expanding more, or are you looking at maybe doing another game soon?
Probably after this release, and by after I mean I've got to do all the bug fixing. Well, I've got to finish it first, go through the beta, release it, and then there'll be a pretty big chunk of bug fix after that to make sure that I don't leave it with too much mess in it. But then I probably will take a break for some time, but I'm never going to stop making it because it's just too much fun.
It is. I mean, you're almost trolling players in some aspects.
Sometimes it feels like that. But the other side of that is, a lot of that stuff that's in there that is a bit obscure and all that, and people do things and get themselves killed, and I laugh. The other side of that is that's where your replay comes from. When you die and you think, whoa, I didn't think of that. And that adds to what you've learned, and you can keep playing. But yeah, it feels a bit like trolling sometimes when I see people's deaths. I died from something I did, like reading a scroll of fire and burning, Or even, I think the very first video I saw was Alex did it, and that's what he did. He read a fire scroll, burnt all his clothes off, and ran through the dungeon with no clothes on until he died. That was hilarious.
My first experience in Wazhack was I went to the character screen. I'm like, okay, I'm going to play this game. It's been looking interesting. I held off doing it because I wanted to make sure I had time to do it. And as I start going through the characters, the little skull at the top is like, no, really, you should play the knight. It's for newbies. Or something like that. And I'm like, forget you, Skull. You're like Clippy, aren't you? And, it was fantastic. Like like you said, the experience of discovering it without having gone out and watched other people play it or really do anything was really thrilling. And it did bring back memories of, back in the old days when if you wanted to get a guide, you had to go out and buy like $18 for a guidebook or something. And nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, it's too easy to ask questions these days. That's the trouble. But I mean, even you can watch any number of videos, and every time I watch a video, I either discover something new that I didn't know, like didn't think of, or I watch somebody and I think, haha, you're an idiot. You're missing something. So everybody when they play is not playing to optimum. I mean, I'm a terrible player compared to a lot of the people out there. There's heaps of new things you can do and new ideas you can come up with. So even you could watch 100 videos and you wouldn't learn everything. No way.
So what was the most entertaining thing you've seen someone do?
Oh dear. Well, probably. How about the weirdest thing I ever saw somebody do? I don't know who it was playing, but this was a fair while ago, and their pet was dead, right?
Okay.
And they got a potion of healing, and they tried to feed it to the pet, and I'm there, not going to work. But it did work. That was actually a bug, right? So somebody fed a potion of healing to their dead pet, and it worked. And I thought, I guess I should make that actually work properly. I mean, technically what was happening, there was a zombie running around. There was a zombie pet with all its ragdoll physics body and everything walking around. It looked fine on the screen, but that wasn't real. That wasn't a real pet, that one.
Does it mean it didn't have hit points then, or it still had zombie hit points?
It had hit points, but it was also dead.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So a death spell wouldn't work on it then?
In the code, it was definitely dead. But it was walking around. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's so many bad things that can happen to you, and most of them funny. I mean, I don't try not to kill people. The intent is that you don't suddenly die of something. You die and you know it's been coming, and maybe you could have done something about it. Is sort of the idea.
No, Lilith has actually mentioned that in his email to us. He had said that he had been really proud because he finally made it through the gnomish mines. And he had so much swag, and he was coming back, and he started to get damaged. And he got up to the elevator, and he was just really sad because he saw these two orc warriors coming at him, and he thought he could take them with combat rather than using all the wands he procured. And
Yep.
He died, and he was like, I was an idiot, and I shouldn't have done that.
I mean, that's the entire purpose of that listing at the end, is to punish you for what you should have done.
You mean the listing of all the items that you can see?
Yep. That's the purpose of it. I mean, I guess that's your learning lesson too. I mean, dying with a whole heap of stuff that you don't even know what it is, that's bad. I mean, for example, simple tips like if you got 2 potions and they're both the same, but you don't know what they are, drink one, because it might be bad, but at least you'll know. It might be good, and then you'll have another one of them.
That potion of polymorph is pretty inconvenient, though, let me tell you.
Polymorphing in general is inconvenient.
Yes, I always hope for like a hill giant or something. I end up as a rat. Are you planning to do another roguelike after this? Well, you haven't really even thought of that probably yet.
No, well, this is why I have to do another game, is because it's hard not to think of other games you could make when you make games. So I've got some ideas of what the sort of game I want to make next. And no, it's not a roguelike, but it will definitely have some of the elements, because I like the mechanics of roguelikes. I mean, most of all, permadeath. I think permadeath is just wonderful. More games should be designed to have permadeath. I mean, I say that distinct from more games should have permadeath. Plenty of games have permadeath, but it's unplayable and horrible experience. To have permadeath, you need a lot of the other things like high replay from random generated stuff and lots of content that you hardly see in each game and things like that. You need all that stuff in order for permadeath to be fun. I mean, playing permadeath Skyrim would be pretty irritating because when you die, you start again. It's the same world, but you got nothing. So there's nothing new in the next game. It's to me the problem with trying to make just any game into a permadeath. But yeah, I'll put permadeath of some form into my next game, for example. The trouble is you need a lot of content before it's fun. You need a lot of different items and a lot of different monsters so that the next time really is different. I mean, what happens in the first 600 feet can completely change your destiny in the game. So, but that's only the case if there's plenty of different items. It's a very different model. Any of these roguelikes work on a fairly different model. In most games, people have pretty well the same experience whenever they play it, and they're intended to play it once. Any of these AAA games, a lot of at least the single player, obviously, is all about having that one experience and doing it once. And it's a great experience and it's well designed. If you play Half-Life 2, everybody has the same experience. Everybody kicks the can and all that sort of stuff. But it's a good experience. But doing it twice isn't sort of that much fun. So it's a very different model what a roguelike's trying to do versus any other single player experience, which is why permadeath works in one and doesn't work in the other. I mean, permadeath Half-Life would be absolutely excruciating. I'm sure there's people out there have a real fun time doing it, but that'd be excruciating.
Are there are you able to see who's discovered what items or how many times an item has been used? Is there a back end stats?
Unfortunately, I don't put enough stats in. I probably should put more stats like that in, and Steam does make that possible. Yeah, I mean, any stats I put in now would be sort of okay, in the last year, this is what's happened, but who knows what before that. I mean, even the games, like when you win, your final inventory and stuff, not all that, but that sort of detail does get uploaded to the server if you've selected that in the options. And even that is too much data there. I'd have to be paying Google too much if I stored it all, so I have to delete even that after a while. So it's a bit annoying.
Does that mean the high score list gets reset every once in a while?
Yeah, well, the bottom of it does. I keep the stuff on the top. I delete the stupid ones where people have clearly hacked it.
You mean like the ranking 10 guy who was like a level 5 knight or something?
Yeah, stupid stuff like that. Because I can see some of the details internally. It stores more than just that information. So if I go, yeah, well, that's ridiculous. And I won't go into detail about how, but it's not very hard to tell when somebody's hacked in a million gold or something as how they're going to solve the game. Not that you can't. I mean, I don't see the point. Getting a million gold's not going to help you. Okay, you can buy everything in the shop. Okay.
Odd question for you. With the shops especially, there are 3 shops that I've found. The baker, the general stores, how I'm going to call him. I call him Mr. Cranky Pants because man, he gets mean if you hit him, and of course the priest. And are there harmful items in the shop, or are they only helpful items typically?
Good question. I think it's configurable, and I'm not sure how I've configured each shop. Did you mention the forge?
I hadn't. Oh yeah, the forge right before the Romans usually, right?
Yeah. So for example, the forge, he's a good guy. He's a nice guy, and he doesn't sell cursed stuff, for example.
Is there a tailor as well, or someone who or was that the forge?
Yeah, there is a tailor, isn't there? Yeah, I think there's a clothier.
Yeah, like 1,000 gold to actually be able to wear armor for my barbarian. I remember that, and I was like, where am I going to get that kind of money?
Yeah, the clothier is actually a homage to the clothier in Terraria. His weird red hat and stuff.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So many Easter eggs that you miss. And then you find out and you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say to fans of the game or people who have been watching it? Guys, don't forget that if you do buy this game, please leave a Steam review on it if you like it, or if there's something you'd like to see changed in it. Don't post in the forums. I think Waz here actually reads the forums pretty frequently from what I was.
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to say something to people, I'd just thank them. I mean, most of the reason this is fun is because of the players, and that's what makes it fun, watching people play, talking to people that have played. When I still play the game, I still find it fun, but talking to other people about it, about your experiences and reading other people's experiences, that's a good part too. I like that. So I'm really happy. I'm glad that the community is what it is. It's a happy community, it's a kind community, and they're having fun with it, not taking anything too seriously.
Is there a specific community gathering spot for people typically for the game?
No, I mean, I was never very good at building single communities in it. I mean, there's the Reddit forum and there's the Steam forum. They're the primary two places that I go to and check out.
Is there anything you're going to post probably all the different changes for 1.3?
I won't be, actually. I mean, what I'll do is I'll just put some basic information out, and it's for everybody else to discover it. I don't want to spoil stuff. There's like another 50 items, another half a dozen monsters, although the monsters are more sort of they're related to the items. You'll just have to wait and see. But no, I won't be putting much in the announcement.
All right, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Waz, thank you for coming out, and everyone, Wazhack, the game link is in the description of the video. There's been a link up the entire time where you can go and get the demo. I hope everyone's enjoyed this. Thank you again for coming out, and see y'all on the flip side.